What is the worst way you can break up with a person? Ours, and then called me an Uber and walked me all the way to the lobby to make sure I left, but made sure I noticed she had taken a bottle of white wine and 2 glasses out to be used once I was gone. Then ghosted me. I would have been very hurt with just the breakup, but this really fucked me up. Brutal and totally unnecessary, as I have always been a gentleman and very kind in light of her mental issues. I had a co-worker get broken up with on a 3-day vacation trip to Mexico on the last day. The guy didn't really break up with her. He just told her that she was annoying and he was gonna leave on the morning they were supposed to leave anyways. Then he ghosted her. That she was worried about being by herself or that something had happened to him. She even tried to make sure he got home okay, and he just wouldn't respond to anything. According to her, she thought they were both having a great time until then. Came home, we lived together after texting all day at work about our upcoming vacation we were leaving that night. He comes home after me, and as I am getting ready to load the car with luggage bags, he tells me that it's over, and he's going on the vacation with his ex instead. Yeah, he left and I had that vacation time to move out, and he even reminded me at the end to leave the key so ex's name could use it and she was moving in. I had to do some serious therapy after being blindsided like that. Ghosting hurts. My ex just stopped answering calls and ignored me for about 3 days. We didn't live together. I called his family since I was concerned as to what was going on and where he was. They basically made fun of me and posted on Facebook insinuating I was a stalker. We had had a run-of-the-mill petty argument, but nothing that was a clear, verbalized breakup. Finally, after a week, he called to say, "Come get your stuff." It worked out as it should, and I'm with my wonderful husband now. After about 3.5 years, she hit me with, "I think I might want to break up with you, but I'm not sure. I'm gonna think about it." We were long distance at the time. The next week was me basically trying to argue for why she shouldn't leave me, with her bringing up every single thing she didn't like that I had ever done. Eventually I got tired of it and told her we were done. I think she was just too weak-willed to break it off herself. So she just tried to piss me off so much that I would do it. To 5F, my last 3 and only relationships. 1. Being cheated on with your best friend at the time and finding out through another friend's FB messages I wasn't snooping. She was logged onto my laptop and I was using it. 2. Being left for someone else after for years lived together for 2 years. 3. Being dumped on the day your uncle died and over a health condition you have zero control over. I've been single for almost 2 years now. I'm heavily traumatized and in therapy. I hate people. I think what my college roommate did was really crappy. He spent the whole weekend with his girlfriend from out of state, even though he knew he was going to break up with her. Then, when he dropped her off at the train station on Sunday, instead of giving her a goodbye kiss like she expected, he broke up with her right there without even getting out of the car. She was left standing there in shock with her bags on the curb while he just closed the door and drove off. When my boyfriend broke up with me, he did it over text by asking about my day. I reply, "Fine. How was yours?" His response was a punch in the gut. "Great. Had a fantastic day with my girlfriend." Little did I know, he had been cheating on me and chose to leave me for his mistress. We had been together for 4 years, living together for 2 tough times ahead. I regret just ghosting an ex. She didn't deserve that. I was wrong and cowardly. Why to drop off Christmas gifts the last year we were together? And I hid from her. This was before cellular phones and social media, so it was easy to stay away. As she's doing fine last I heard, good for her. My ex lied to me and said she was packing her bags to go visit her cousin across the country. Turned out she met a dude at the restaurant she worked at, fell in love with him and moved to his home state. I even paid for the plane ticket. She texted me a week later that she wasn't coming back. Found out from a family member she was living with her new dude. My ex-husband faked like he was sick when my son and I went to a cancer awareness walk on Mother's Day with my family. During the time we were gone, he packed up his clothes and some stuff and left. He left me a typed-up note on my laptop. He was making his way back to his home state. We had moved to my home state. We had been together for 9 years. Once had a girl who I wanted to marry more than anything. And she also begged me to propose for a long time. Finally bought a ring, got on a knee, and she dropped off the face of the earth the next day. We didn't live together, but I heard she was ready to move for months. Not too sure what happened to her, if I even knew her real name. My college girlfriend broke up with me by just starting to date a mutual friend without telling me. It was during the summer, and she stayed at school to take classes, and I returned home to do an internship. I thought everything was good until friends started messaging me about her showing up at parties with another guy. I was at work one day, around afternoon time. I get a call from my then girlfriend saying she came by my apartment, took all her stuff and our shared cat, and that they were leaving for good. She said to never try to contact her ever again, and she was changing her number. That was that, and we never spoke again. I was broken up with over MySpace back in the day. I, however, did not check my profile that night. Went to school the next day, kissed my boyfriend between classes, and was wondering why he was acting weird all day. Went home and saw the message that night. The following day was awkward to say the least. When you're a coward and can't handle shit, so you act out so the other person has to break up with you. When you tell them you love them and just start pulling away in a very calculated way. When you ask them not to leave you and promise things change, then turn down every attempt to connect. Was asked if I heard a particular song before. It was new at the time, so I hadn't heard it yet. They looked it up to play it for me, then told me that's how they feel, and we're now over. Nowadays it commonly plays on the radio, so I unfortunately think about that every time it happens to play. Assuming there isn't any abuse involved, ghosting is the worst way to break up. I'm not talking about ghosting someone after a couple dates. That sucks, but it's not the end of the world. I'm talking ghosting a relationship of a year or years because someone can't handle ending a relationship. Project you may have spent weeks or months working on, just so you would initiate the breakup with them. Namely, so they can engender sympathy from their friends and family after it's all said and done. Such an asshole way to go about it. Not me, but someone I grew up with broke up with her fiancé by showing up at a family funeral pregnant and wearing another man's ring. She was living in another state for school and still talked to him on the phone multiple days a week. His next fiancé was a much better person. Probably by text. That's what my long-distance fiancé did. No phone call. No FaceTime. Just a text and saying she didn't want to discuss it. That was 7 months ago. And I still can't stop thinking about her every day. I can't wait to forget about her. It's all I pray for now. When I was in high school and it was a sem break, I thought he was gonna come over and hang out because he knew where to find me. Every day I waited for him, and I texted him. He didn't even reply, until he broke up with me through a text message. I pity myself afterwards. The love of your life, and you can't wait to spend the rest of your life with them. And 3 months later breaking up after ghosting them for a week because you don't actually know if you love them at all. We lived together. Ghosting, coming back. Coasting, coming back, saying you want to get back together, letting the other person make plans and feel hopeful and happy ... and then say you actually haven't changed your mind about the ghosting and be cruel and hateful ... then ghost again. Some kind of horrible spectacle. Their parents filming it, then getting the parent to send them the video of said sex saying so and so broke up with you because they realized you're a disappointment. Just as I've known for years now. I broke up with a girl at my birthday party. She was running late. And I just got that feeling that actually life would be better if she didn't show up. So when she did, I broke up with her. She left. I kept on partying. That's the worst I've done. After their mother dies, wait a year and a half and break up with them with a gift you bought before she died. Letting them know you intended for more than a year to break up with them. I've rewatched Brooklyn Nine-Nine recently. I think the guy that posted a sign on the side of the road on her route to work saying something like this probably takes the cake. Death, will you marry me? Just kidding. I'm dumping you. Get your shit out of my house. My first girlfriend arranged for her and I to meet up to go out to the mall or something. She pulled up in a car with her two best friends in tow, broke up with me, and immediately jumped back into the car and sped away. My friend found out she and her ex weren't together anymore after he posted an Instagram picture with his best friend of 3 years. Caption: "It only took me 3 years to ask her out." I think that was super shitty. With me before my birthday after he promised me he would visit me LDR and after I rented a place for him bonus. The same he did say he would not come. He met his new girlfriend. Love wins, I guess. Ex drove off and ghosted me on Christmas Eve after getting her gifts and orgasms, only for me to find out she was dating another dude for about 2 months at that point. We were together for 8 years. Fun times. When they're on their deathbed due to cancer. What way? Completely remove yourself from every picture you've taken and leave without a word. If you meet on the street, act as if you've never seen them in your life. Cheating on them, treating them badly until they approach the conversation, break up with you because you're too selfish, cowardly to do it yourself. Bonus points if you then make it seem like it's their fault. When I was a teenager, I was dating one sister and a friend of mine was dating the other, and he wanted to break up with her. He requested I bring her to the car and play the song Freebird. What a day! A guy I'd known for a year told me he loved me, and then 2 days later he told me he just said that to get me to sleep with him, and that I was stupid to believe it. And he never wanted to see me again.